Welcome to Chat Cinema. I'm with filmmaker Cyrus Neshvad. His work, The Red Suitcase, has been nominated for the Best Short Film Oscar this year. Okay, I'm going to try to make this a spoiler-free interview, so be patient with me, guys. All right, so Cyrus, what inspired you to tell this particular story?
Yeah, so I'm Iranian and actually living in Luxembourg, and my mother, she's connected a lot with Iran, and we have family still there. And 2 years ago, I was searching for a short movie, and yeah, just nearby at dinner, she told me, yeah, it's a pity that all these Iranian women, as soon as they say what they think or what they want or see or that, nothing, they're just disappearing. So I said, is that true? Yeah, they're disappearing. I said, gosh, that's terrifying, and you never find them again. And then actually I saw that there is something going on, and as people are disappearing and it stays in silence. Yeah, so I said, if I have, and I was searching for a short movie, and I said, let's do something around this. And then yeah, I thought about this young Iranian girl with a hijab on their head and coming to the Luxembourgish airport. I thought, because the airport is interesting, it's the place you travel usually, and actually she's in the oppression, you know, and that's how it all began.
All right, now let me ask you this then. There is a bit, I guess you use the technique, the absence of dialogue to tell the story. It's a bit of a joyless tempo, I have to admit. Why did you choose this particular way to tell the story?
First of all, it's visual. Mm-hmm. And also in usual life, things are not happening in the dialogue. We don't talk so much to each other, you know, but we understand something going on, but it's never happening through dialogues. And third of all, this is a girl, she cannot talk the language of this country. She's Iranian. Whatever she will be said, it will be not understood. So it can either way, in the reality and in the visual part, cannot go through the dialogue because anyway of her.
Okay. Now, the next question is, I hope I don't offend people by saying this. There's a lot of subtext in this story. The subtext of, I guess, immigration, the subtext of integration, the authorities turning their backs, because this poor girl, she was a bit lost. I felt sorry for her. It's like, oh my God, you know, and what was she going to do? Now, am I right or wrong, or you tell me?
Exactly. So this is when you come in a country, you are wearing a hijab, you are in the airport, people are judging you. That's the first sign of immigration, is when you are being judged. So for me, it was important that the audience begins to judge her. That what is she? She's hiding something? Is there a bomb, or she stole, and so on and so on? Because that's happening as soon as you immigrate. That's the first reaction, you're getting judged. And then the audience slowly will feel sorry because of the judgment they had. So they will change because they understand her problematic. And then we come to this, I bring it further to what is the real purpose of the movie, is the woman going against the domination of the man, about the tradition, about, you know, that you can sell a woman. In Iran, it's like this, the man can do whatever he wants with the woman, because it's the man over the woman. Like the woman in Iran is not allowed to do anything without the consent of the man. The man, when the woman is getting older, is allowed to take a different woman, a younger woman, or a third or a fourth woman. And the man, the woman can say nothing. When you have a party or something like this, the woman is not allowed to dance, as she has to, you know, and so on and so on. There are a lot. And this thing about is kind of selling and transaction is also there. I think other countries too, that I stay in my tradition. I find somebody abroad who has my tradition in Iran, and I do this exchange. So it was to go against all this when she's going in this bathroom and taking the hijab off to run away. Because the sign of all this, sorry, just the last sentence, the sign of this or in Iran about the woman, it's this hijab. So if you take this hijab off and watching in the lens of the camera how she will do, she is saying, I'm against all this, everything I told you now. The visual, what I'm telling in the story in this moment is, we are against this as a woman. And when she's watching in the lens of the camera, means that I'm telling to you also, all the other women, to join me in this process.
Well, you just gave away a big part of the story. So that's what I wanted to say about the spoiler.
Yes.
Because the first, after that happened, it was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But like I said, guys, you have to watch the movie, watch the short film. It's really, really good. All right, now, going back to the visuals. Now, there were two really striking visuals that I remember in this movie. The one where she's in the airport, and also, can you explain that last visual image?
About a woman with a shampoo.
Yes.
Yeah. So my screenwriter is a French screenwriter. When we began to write this story, he said, look, the oppression of the woman, it's in Iran, okay, but it's also in France, where I live. It's also, I guess, in the US. It's also in the whole world. So we have to bring that also the women abroad, they are not treated totally correctly. So we decided to put posters at the background, a lot. And all the posters are selling something. The first poster is selling bag for women, but using the naked leg of the woman to sell it. The other poster is selling champagne for drinking, but using the décolleté of the woman. And all these women are smiling that we are so happy. The third woman is selling a pizza, but using like a pizza, like with the mouth, very beautiful mouth. So the sexuality of the woman is being used to sell products. So it means then here abroad, also we are misusing women to sell. So which brings me back to tell you the last shot of the movie. When the girl is gone, slowly we go in this advertisement of a shampoo where we have a smile of a woman who seems so happy. But when we go more and more close, we see that behind this smile, she's not happy and she has a terrifying look.
Well, that's a commentary on modern society, but kind of true. But let me ask you, as a filmmaker nowadays, especially with a story like that, were you a bit nervous about the subject matter, for example, about offending people?
Yes. That's why I, in these years I'm doing movies, I never wanted straight to go to this subject because I was not scared that I offend people, but scared that something could perhaps happen to me. You know, you never know. And I have family in Iran, and you know, and that's not a very cool message to give in Iran. If I would be in Iran, I would never have done this story. So here I feel a bit more protected. So yeah, not offended, but a bit scared also to do this movie, and especially now it's happening all these things abroad in Iran, because the time I was doing it, it was 2 years ago. All this in Iran was not happening.
Right.
So today it's coming out, and yeah, it's more scary.
Oh, wow. Well, I may get my interview questions right now then, but seriously. But I want to ask you also something about the camera, the camera guy, the DP. Why did you guys decide on that particular tone of the movie?
I decided to film with a handheld camera to be really, really close to the reality. All the colors, I tried to really stay to the reality. And the more we are in the real, the more the cutting is slow and the more it's extra stuff, the more we are connected to the girl, because the audience will think this is really happening. So it was, the camera work was going in that particular way to stay to the reality. But I decided to choose the anamorphic lens, which is showing more panoramic. Why? Because I wanted to create a space where we feel her loneliness. The bigger you show the space, the more we feel her loneliness in the middle of all these posters, all this beautiful woman seems so happy. So this was the choice of also the lens.
I don't, like I said, I don't want to give it away, but when she goes to exchange the money and she gets so little back, and you think she's in this strange country alone, you think, okay, what would happen to her? What could have happened to her?
Exactly. One thing about the changing, the whole movie, when I was thinking the movie, I said I need to give a picture of Iran, you know, the dirty Iran, yeah? So this stuff without the money we didn't have. And I was searching, and then I came up with that she could have all this money because on every part of this money, we have the face of Khomeini. And Khomeini is our disaster in Iran. And then visually, we have this Khomeini, the terrifying image of Iran, at least visually there. So that was the first point. And the second point is that we see the value of the money is so down. So our country during the Shah, the value was so up. And now look what has happened. In our country came a virus, you know, and the virus is eating the beautiful body of our country. So the value is nothing there anymore. So that's why this scene was so important.
Oh, okay. Last question. What are you working on next?
So I'm working on a long movie where I can pitch you the sentence. It's about a young boy who is 6 years old with her mother. They're fleeing the revolution of Iran. They are coming in Luxembourg and they are living in a camp. In this camp, this boy befriended himself with a very old woman, a Russian woman, coming also to take shelter in Luxembourg. And it's about their friendship. How this friendship can grow, that the old woman cannot speak his language and he cannot speak English. How can a friendship grow out of this? And it's really a beautiful story.
So is it a screenplay or are you actually in pre-production for it?
We finished the script and yeah, we are in the preparation of the development.
All right. Well, Cyrus, congratulations on this work. I do hope you get the Oscar. Okay, everybody go out there and check out the Red Suitcase. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.